Thanks for staying with us. You can still be a part of this conversation by calling us on 081-270-53687 and 091-390-76948. We have a caller on the line, Vincent from Ikeja. Vincent, good morning.
Good morning, your viewers. It's not surprising that this is happening in Nigeria. I want us to take a cue from what's happening in Afghanistan.
Can you speak up a bit, Vincent?
I said I want us to take a cue and learn a lesson from what happened in Afghanistan.
Okay.
With the training and the equipment that the U.S. and the world gave them, the military boys willfully surrendered. That would mean during the fight by the U.S. team, there are some elements in the team that were for Al-Qaeda. Now it's happening in Nigeria. They can attack our military base almost from anywhere. So our House of Assembly leaders, both in the Senate and the Junior Chamber, should just get out of the place and let Nigeria, if we are going to survive it at very Lord, because there is power in our numbers. Our leaders just do something right now because we are crying. We are crying. If this could happen to where our defense machinery are being trained, what will happen in Kenya if they invade the Kenya? And they are even around us, and we don't even know. And they are paying this service because of party. The APC members couldn't say anything. And if they have to say...
Thank you so much, Vincent, for that call. So I was wondering, because a few times now we've heard that there have been meetings, different stakeholders trying to get former security heads to be a part of this. So those military heads that have retired, those people who held positions in the military and other security agencies. But so far, so good. I haven't seen the result of all of these meetings. What do you make of this? Are they not talking anymore? Are they not making plans? Or have they retired and brains have, retired as well? What's happening?
So I would say that I think it's a personal thing at the end of the day. As I think somebody mentioned, was it Topper who said that, there is politics in everything. And of course, I think it is politics. So you see that they are spending Nigerian money. They would have conferences and they would pay them for coming and all of those things, and they have wasted money, and at the end of the day, we don't even have a headway. So there is no point at all having all of this. What exactly can we do? I think there should be a proactive measure to this particular one. As we have said, I don't know how we're going to do it, but then I think they should think deeply on what to do, and they should take this seriously, because we just don't want to wake up one day and there will be no Nigeria again, or the whole, because no, it's so scary, because sometimes when you think about stuff like this, these are the things that come to mind. And I am, to just go back on what we said the other time, that two were kidnapped and one person was abducted. Two persons were killed and one person was abducted. The one person has been killed. So you can see how that is right now. And the fact that, I'll think that, of course, I'll say it again, that we are very, very lazy, because there is a school very close to the academy. They share a fence, and it has been attacked before, and nothing was done about it. And I think somebody here also mentioned that when something has happened to your neighbor, you should sit up. You shouldn't be so careless and be thinking that, oh, it is them. So if it has happened to a school that you share a fence with before, and you're just thinking that because it's not you, look at what has happened.
Is the word lazy or selfish? Because if this
selfish, lazy,
to people who, like the VIPs, you will see movement.
Okay, so the president, I know the president, the usual additional or Gabashi would issue the usual statement, but we need to see more than that, because you cannot, it's like you have an only child and they take your only child. It's like, so this is a major attack that shouldn't be taken lightly. But what your question about all this, our senior or ex-military officials, is that if you invite them and they finish the meeting and whatever suggestions they make does not get any approval, it's like they're wasting their time, and so they will stop giving the advice. It's like the fact that when I feel like there's no constitutional backing to any suggestions I make, so let me just keep quiet. It's like when I see, based on experience, that this thing you're doing will not work, and I tell you what you're doing will not work, but I can see from your body reaction you'll not listen to me, I'll withhold my advice. So that is exactly the way I think it's playing out now, because we sure do have intelligence on ground.
Yes, really, I think it's a political will to do the right thing. And sometimes political will is not only about just changing how things are, just changing the heads of, our forces. It could also mean punishing and calling out those who you have investigated and found complicit and making an example of them. But because you may feel for some affiliations you may have, whatever they may be, so you decide to protect someone, what you're doing is that in some way perpetrating injustice. And what that does, it kills the morale of those who are supposed to be fighting this war and putting their best and laying their lives down. And then you find people who have now who are now saying, you know what, I can't even die for this country. There's no point. So it starts, this one, the buck stops right at the president's table.
Yes.
You need to step up and do something very powerful that sends a powerful message for whoever. For me, I honestly believe personally that this is an insider job. And so that has to be sorted.
Thank you so
quickly.
much, ladies, for this. Our hearts go out to the lieutenants that lost their lives and their families. I hope that God gives them the fortitude to bear the loss. We'll be taking a break now. When we come back, we'll go into other topics. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Yet another sad story. So on the 30th of May, 136 students were kidnapped from the Salihu Tanko Islamia School in Tegina in Rafi local government area of the state. That's Niger State. 6 out of those children have reportedly been killed. Or died in captivity. And according to the story, they were said to be ill. They had taken ill. And the bandits are asking for ransom. So they asked for 110 million and they moved it to 200 million at the time. Now they're asking for the ransom to be paid so that they can release the remaining students in captivity. This story is so heartbreaking.
It is so sad, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I don't know how I feel right now. I am angry. I don't even know how to feel, So May the 30th, and this is August.
Yeah.
These are children. And then the only call that the principal has received is that 6 out of these people, 136, have died. Please, where do we go from here? I mean,
I understand how you feel, Honeypot, because here we always say that sometimes some of the conversations we have at this table, the energy, you take it home with you. These are people's realities, At least we can have the conversation and go home. Their parents are constantly living this. Every day wondering where their children are. Imagine sleeping and waking up and wondering where your children are, what is going on with them. So we now have 6 of them who have died. And, we have a policy in our country where we do not negotiate with kidnappers and with bandits. And the amounts of monies that they are calling, I don't know how many parents can put that together. Even for the family, for the schools that parents are able to put this together, like the Bethel School, we hear that by the time they get their children, they're so pale, they look ill, who knows how many days without food. There was a time we had, I think those that abducted the Bethel students were asking for, apart from money, for food to feed your children that we have abducted. So with the Islamia students, honestly, with their own case, everything just went silent. I don't hear the agitation and, the outrage we have, like, for other students. For the Islamia school, it is sad and then it's quiet. We have a particular parent whose 7 of his children are among those who were abducted. So since May 30th, this month, 7 children, along with all the other 136. Unfortunately, 130 now, have been in the abductors den. There was a time we took a paper where it said that people had come together to go and talk to the kingpin of these kidnappers. And my question, I asked then, and I still ask now, is if you know where this kingpin lives, if you have his number, if you know how to go and have a conversation with them or to beg them, what is happening? Why can't we save the children? Why can't we arrest these people? What is happening? I'm just as,
let me close it up.
That's where we are right now.
It's a sad reality of many parents. The numbers keep increasing. The number of lives that we can lose, that we have avoidable deaths that we have suffered. The number of parents who have died. This entire thing started with the Chibok story when after those ones happened. And there was some long before them, but they were like the flagship. And since then, it's now become a number. Like, I wonder if our leaders, when they have these fake meetings and they discuss the number of people that are still in custody of our kidnappers, do they put a face to those people? Like, do they that are in captivity with the kidnappers? Do they put a face? Do they think of it like somebody that was writing WAEC, this person that is somebody's sister, this is somebody's child, this is somebody's investment, that somebody prayed for this miracle? Like, you know, can we put a bit of, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, leaders don't have to, they have to put emotions aside, but you have to have an emotion.
Need emotions.
You need to have it. You need empathy to be able to understand the plight of your citizens. Because just this weekend, we were lamenting on Monday that our president had a lavish wedding, only to hear just a few days after that, 6 children have died in. So you're happy to celebrate with your children in a country where your citizens are losing their children. It is all shades of wrong, and we must call a spade a spade. We cannot have the National Assembly sitting down looking like this. Yeah,
but I haven't even heard anything from the government. I haven't.
It is more sad that the spokesperson of the president will say that the president cannot eat or could not eat the day he heard that some children were kidnapped. So what does that amounted to at the end of the day?
But he ate at his party. He ate at his own child's
wedding party. Let's talk about solutions. So I know we are not security officials here. Yeah. We're not trained in that. But is there anything that we can begin to do to protect not just our lives, but that of our children in a failing system where you don't even know, you're taking your children to school, you don't even know if there's anything is going to happen in school before you get back in the afternoon? Is there anything we as parents can do? Should we suggest homeschooling? Because I'm at a loss.
The only thing is prayer. You see, the sincere truth is we just need to pray that it doesn't befall us.
We have been praying.
That's the only thing we can do. You know why? Because most of our politicians and most of our leaders, their children are not here. And when the children are around, they have escorts. Do we have escorts? Do our children have escorts? Can we afford I went to the supermarket one day and I saw a military official, guard job, carrying AK for like a rifle. I don't know what AK for. I don't know. But he was carrying a rifle and he was standing by the security door of a supermarket. Why? A VIP was going to shop and go outside. Until Nigeria is safe for the average Nigerian, then it is just a prayer thing. I also seriously feel that the conversation needs to be less of insulting the president or the political leaders, but letting them know, threatening them to realize that we are going to vote you out. Like, we know what we're doing. Guess what? 2 million people have registered for their PVC, and they're all young people. So let's get more young people. You know, you have, when you have power is in 2023, you have the power then. So get yourself your PVC. Ensure that you get yourself all you need to be able to vote, and don't let anybody buy your votes. Then you also ensure that you carry people along so that you're not voting yourself alone. You have at least 5 people that you are influencing to vote against the injustice, the lack of equity, and the insecurity happening in our environment right now.
Okay, so we have a caller, Ade from London. Hello, Ade, are you there? Hello, Ade.
Ade, we are waiting for you.
Oh, there's a bit of delay. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about...
Hello, good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Ade.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I want to discuss about the security of our country. Hello?
We can hear you, Ade. You're live.
Okay. Only God can help us in Nigeria. You see, if you want to observe what I'm saying, go to anywhere in the north on Friday. You can enter anywhere. Either Army Barrack, anywhere, Palace, anywhere. What is Friday? Anybody can enter in the name of prayer. That's how people, Boko Haram will do their surveillance. Because they will go there in the name that they want to pray. So they enter anywhere on Friday, all the north. Are open. Anywhere. You understand? So we need to be very careful in our country, the way things are going. Nobody can go to NDA just like that without insider. People are going there for prayer or whatever to do the surveillance and go there to carry out this thing.
Thank you so much, Ade. Thank you. He's also reiterated what we said, that nobody can, have the effrontery without an insider, and the fact that, we still suspect that the military is compromised. But I would like to say, like I've always said this here, that if we make it impossible for people who are leading us to have their children outside the country, schooling outside the country, going for medical care outside the country, maybe they would pay more attention.
Is that?
Can't we talk about putting it in the Constitution?
Well,
why do we have...
we've had a House of Rep member, I think, who had a conversation with us and tried to push it, and this was something that was not well received. So this is something that he's still pushing, but we know of so many bills that in 2 weeks,
it's
they pass it. Exactly, they pass it, and it's, But see, for me, it's for the sake of these children, we cannot leave these children in captivity. We cannot pretend this does not exist. We cannot say, oh, well, we do not negotiate with kidnappers. If we do not negotiate with kidnappers, then we must arrest kidnappers and free those in captivity. We cannot have children hundreds of days, 45 days, 46 days. Daily Trust makes it a point of duty to tell us how many days these children are in captivity every day. So it's just... Really, we have had state governors also talk about how their hands are tied. Like, I've done my best, there's nothing we can do, we're putting everything in place. It just seems as if no one can do anything. So where you ask parents to raise 200 million in this present-day Nigeria, where are they going to raise it from? In fact, now, I've even gotten to the point where it's like, I'm appealing to the kidnappers. Can we reduce the price or something so that these children can come home?
We have a caller, Hassan from Lekki. Hassan, are you there?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Hassan.
There is fire on the mountain. Let me be very, very frank with you. I can see negligence on the part of NDA, High Command.
Exactly. Negligence.
I can see negligence on the part of our armed forces.
Yes.
I can see indifference on their part.
You got the words right.
If you are conversant with the geography of Kaduna Airport, there are two ways out of it. One leading to Rigatuku, the other one going to the main town. For over 2 years now, there was this recorded kidnapping, continuous kidnapping and killing in that alley. Now, very close to NDA, Nigeria Airport, they kidnapped some workers of fire. And now, NDA High Command are now telling us that they are not on alert. There must be something wrong there.
Definitely.
And Mr. President must sit up and bring them up and deal decisively with those guys that are responsible for negligence.
Thank you so much, Hassan. Thank you so much, Hassan. Some people have also said that the president is just bidding time, that is almost out. What is the hope that you have?
So where's the chief of army staff? Where's the chief? We have a chief of army staff, and he's a new chief of army staff, and we've seen him. There was a picture I saw of him looking. There was the picture of him visiting one of the, I think, divisions, and the picture looked really good, and we're applauding them looking very smart. But it goes beyond looking smart. It's the fact that you need to weed out those that are doing that are undermining your efforts. You need to weed out those that are undermining your efforts in a way that is obvious to everybody that if they try it, they will get punished. So court-martial is not something that should take years to happen. If they were people culpable, at least for the case of the kidnapped kingpin, the Wadume, we know the Wadume story. There were names mentioned, and those specific guys have been able to remain within the system, even though the court-martial is dealing with it. It's taking too long. Justice needs to be meted out sharp. That you have found culpable. Everybody that was on duty that day, they are facing court-martial, the investigation, they trace every account, they find who got money or who has affiliations with any of the bandits. That person gets not a firing squad straight. They shoot. Every other person sits up. As long as there is no justice and people get away with whatever they are doing,
everybody wants
impunity. People will have fun. Yes, it becomes business. It becomes business. How can bandits have more ammunition than our military?
I don't
How can
get
they?
it.
Like it just doesn't. It's because you cannot intelligently. An intelligent person cannot rationalize it. So obviously, that's why we all resort to spiritualizing every situation that happens here.
Because we don't have anything to do with.
What Chakwe has said cannot be overemphasized, but I think people are not still getting the picture because this is a primary and junior school. So you can imagine, like, these
children.
These are children. You can, thank you so much, babies. And babies have not been there for how many months? And then they just sent a word that 6 of them have died. So what is the fate of the remaining that are there? I think we should just get down to business already. It is more than talking, sitting down, and all that. Unfortunately, we are helpless because, I mean, we can't do anything about it. We can just stay down here and talk. But the thing is, the people who are, you know, supposed to be protecting us should be protecting us. Should be protecting us.
You already mentioned the solution.
Just, please, let's do all we can to help those children come out. That's all I have to say, really. Because I have been on this table every day. We lament the same thing over and over again. And sometimes, you know, sounding like a broken record, almost sounding like the Nigerian government, where we say the same thing over and over again. The thing is, let these children just come out, please.
Because I was just going to say that, and the thing again is that if anybody is thinking that the way out is of just going away from this country, there is nowhere like home. This is our home. So something must be done. We can't run away from it.
To solve the issue. Yeah. Do we have tubes? Do we have books?
It's not loading.
No, it's not loading.
We all of us have said this several times, and you also have always said it, that the solution will be for people to wear the shoes. You know, if you don't wear the shoe, you don't know how it pinches.
That's right.
So until our leaders are wearing the shoes of, your child might be the one being kidnapped next.
They won't feel what you're feeling.
Put his son there, and then they realize that this shoe is pinching me. He took his son out of a public school, and we need to implement that rule. So everything we can do to support the Honorable who was pushing for that rule, I just can't remember his name right now, but was pushing for the rule that would ensure that politicians and anyone occupying political position has their children in schools here and have their healthcare in Nigeria. Then we'll see major improvement. But as long as there's an escape route, people can escape.
Yeah, they feel they have a choice. Thank you so much, ladies.
And thank you
it was quite a very sad show, based on the topics that we treated, but it was good.
But we enjoyed having you host the show today.
Yes, you did very well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's all we can take for today. I had a message quickly that I was supposed to take from Yes. So our producer, Maradessa, has a personal birthday shout-out to Eddie Megwa, the state coordinator for the NYSC in Lagos. Happy birthday, Eddie Megwa. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, sir. God bless you. That's all we can take for today. Join us tomorrow, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.